I get asked all the time how we structure our fees, and every architect charges a different way, which is really confusing for everybody, right? So we charge a percentage, which is quite a common thing for an architect to charge.
We charge a range of fees from 10 to 14%. Normally on residential. It depends on whether it's a historic building, what level of service we're providing, whether planning's in place already. There's a whole range of different things, and different architects will charge different amounts.
So the reason why we do charge a percentage fee is because at the beginning of a project, when I pick up the phone and start to talk to you about your project, you might be thinking, I want to spend £150,000 or £750,000, but you might have aspirations of a project that's actually worth substantially more of that. And I need to help you with my team get to the point where you're ready to start on site. And that nature of that project might be very different from the very beginning to the very end. So if I was to fix my fee based on a very tiny thing, but delivering you a huge thing, I'm going to lose a lot of money.
Well, you'll be out of business.
And I think the worry people have is where architects or design professionals are unrealistic about a project cost. So yes, we do charge a percentage fee, but we will pre-qualify every client by giving them an estimate of how much we think their project's going to be worth based on their brief. So they're going into it with a realistic figure. And I think that's probably what sets us apart from other businesses, because we also build and we develop and we have the joinery business. We have a real cost feedback loop which enables us to give accurate prices for jobs.
And with the percentage fee, people obviously can worry about cost shooting up, but the way in which I can assure everybody that we work really, really hard to protect our clients' money is speaking to any of our clients that we built houses for. We work so hard to bring every single cost down.
Yeah, and I think, it was interesting. We had a client, we're just finishing a project off. I think she was a bit sceptical about using our build team. She used us, but then she came round and she saw the job and she said, I realise now what it's to build a building properly, because they've used only contractors who haven't, done a thorough, detailed job.
And for me, it's like building with integrity, isn't it? What a client walks into a room and they generally see what the paint and anything, towards the room, but what sits behind the wall is so important. How it's built with robustness, the thought that's gone behind the sort of technical design.
We do get a lot of repeat business, which I think is kind of the proof of the pudding. Because people live in these houses for 10 or 15 years and they come back to Joe and Lizzie and they say, we're moving because we're better off, we want to move to a bigger area or whatever, and they want Joe and Lizzie to do their house. We have quite a bit of repeat business. I found that surprising.
Yeah, we do. We're on people's second or third house.
Or people that sort of recommend us to friends.
Yeah, a lot of that as well.
Okay, time for a summary. We charge a percentage of the net construction cost for architectural services. This is because at the beginning of a project with no design in place, it's very difficult to quantify the extent of what is to be designed. We provide a budget for the project based on our experience and current construction costs. We then base our percentage on this up to the site stages. Scope may increase as the opportunities of the project are explored during the design stage, hence why the fee needs to be variable and based on the scope that is to be detailed for construction rather than the aspirations at the beginning of a project. We control costs by involving a quantity surveyor and focusing on cost-effective design solutions where we can. As RIBA Chartered Architects, we need to look after our clients' money.